My pronouns are she and her. We're going to move through a Pilates yoga flow today. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a core warm-up, and then we'll get into some more yoga-based movements with some nice juicy stretches. So we're going to start out laying on our backs. And I like to have the knees bent and feet on the floor for this. It's just a little more friendly for the low back. And from here, just let yourself settle in. Your arms can be wherever is comfortable. I like to have them resting on the body, just so that I can tune into my breath a bit more. And let your whole body just settle down. It might feel good to take a full breath in through the nose and a long sigh out through the mouth. Let's do just one more of those. They feel so good. Full inhale, biggest breath in you've taken all day. And let the whole day go. Allow the face to soften. Feel gravity resting on your shoulders. Think of softening the base of the skull, keeping the back of the neck comfortably long. And notice where you make contact with the earth. If you were to be laid out on a big white piece of paper and you had been dipped in ink like a stamp, what shape would you be making? Are some places heavier where that ink would be darker? Maybe some places are a little lighter. And maybe some places don't touch at all. And just remember how it feels to breathe here. That slow, steady breath through the nose. So in Pilates, we like to work with a kind of neutral spine. So a good way to find this is to bring your hands, so the first and maybe middle fingers touch, and your thumbs touch, like you're making this little triangle shape. And you can bring your first fingers towards your pubic bone, and the rest of your hands towards your hip bones. So if you were to press your low back down into the earth, and you were to take a peek at your hands, or maybe you can even feel it, you would see your first fingers lifting up higher than your thumbs. And then if you were to really arch the back, lifting the low back, tilting the pelvis forward, you'd see your thumbs or feel them lift. So what we're aiming for right now is to keep the pelvis level and neutral, where you can feel that your hands are just about even. And check in with your low back. Notice how it's not arching or rounding, it's nice and neutral. There's just a little bit of space between your low back and the floor. So this is what we call our neutral spine. And this is a great place. You can even just stay here for a little while. Notice how it feels to breathe here. And when we keep this neutral spine, it's really good for all those little tiny stabilizer muscles, really great for our posture. So if at any point as we start moving through this, it starts to feel like too much, just come back to this neutral spine and know that this place alone is work. If you want to add on, let's stay right here. Press your left foot into the ground really firmly, almost like you want to drag the heel in towards you. And then let your right knee come out to the right side so you're on the outer edge of that foot. As you exhale, bring that leg in. Press the right foot almost like you want to squeeze it in, and then you're going to let the left leg fall out. Try to keep your hips level the whole time and then bring it in. We'll do 2 more. Inhale, right knee falls to the side. Don't let your pelvis tilt. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, left. Exhale it up. You might not go as far out as you usually do because we're using that kind of movement rather than a passive stretch. Check in, is your low back changing? Try to keep it right where it is. Level pelvis. Nice. Okay. From here, you're going to inhale, bring the right shin towards parallel with the floor and ceiling. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, left shin up. Exhale, drop it down. Check in that you're not moving side to side. Keep that foot that's planted really strong. And flow with your breath. Your inhales lift, your exhales bring it down. And almost as if your legs are really heavy, like I am pressing on your shin as you lift it up, and I'm pulling on your calf as you bring it down. Try to resist. Let's do 1 more, either side. And then next time your right shin lifts, leave it there, left shin will lift too. So you might feel a bit of a change in the low back. It might lengthen a bit, but don't really press it in. Don't really arch it up. Find that neutral. Harder than it seems. Draw your lower abdomen in towards the spine, maybe slightly lift. Make sure you can still breathe so you're not really bracing completely. Imagine pulling the femur bones into your hip sockets. Almost like you're suctioning up through the arches of the feet all the way into your hip bones. Feet can be flexed or pointed, you choose. Inhale. Exhale, navel to spine. Inhale, stretch that right leg long. Exhale, drag it back in. Inhale, left long. Exhale, drag it back in. Again, right side. This whole time you're drawing the thigh bone into the hip socket. As you lengthen, you're pulling it in and pressing through the foot. Keep it going. Don't let your spine move. Don't let your hips move. And as you really pull in with those thighs, you're going to feel your glutes turn on, and that's going to help if you feel pinching a lot in the front of the hips as you do ab work. Okay, you can keep doing this, or maybe you want to try both feet. Whew. And we'll just do 3 of those. And then come in, give your legs a hug, feel as your spine rounds. And then bring your shins back to parallel, your knees can be closer in. Press your hands onto your thighs, thighs into your hands. Find your neutral spine and press, press, press. Keep breathing. Soften the jaw, soften the shoulders. Pull your femur bones in. Engage through your legs, not just your quads. Press, 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 press. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your left hand pressing into your thigh. Inhale, stretch right arm, right leg long. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, switch. Inhale, reach right long, left long. Press left hand into leg. Keep going. I think I just mixed up my lefts and rights. You get it. Let's do 1 more, either side. Hug your legs in if you want to break, just for a second. All right, come back to this kind of tabletop shape in the legs. reach your arms up. Try to stay pretty active through the arms like you're holding a small dog overhead. And you're going to flip it out now. Switch it up now. Inhale, stretch right arm, left leg. Exhale, drag it back in, resist. Inhale, switch, right leg, left arm. Stay active through the arms as you move. Pull your leg into your hip. Try not to rock side to side. You got this. Let's do one more either side. When you're all done, hug it in. And you can find your way to tabletop through rolling to the side, or you can be like a little kid, hold on to your legs and try to roll up a few times. If you're feeling really playful, you could separate the legs, straighten them out, hold on to the thighs, or maybe even the calves. You might get stuck a few times, that's part of the fun. Whew. And eventually we'll make our way towards a tabletop. So again, we're going to find that neutral spine. So sometimes when we come to tabletop, we want to dip down or really round. Just try to find that neutral spine. Now if you've got anything going on in the knees, you can add padding under there. You can always come down to forearms or forearms on a couple of blocks if your wrists are bothering you. Alright, so find your navel drawing in towards your spine. Breathe here. See if you can really send the breath wide into the ribs. Your spine is nice and long. Back of the neck is relaxed. Great. You're going to inhale, stretch the right leg long. Maybe lift it up to hip height. Hip height is always lower than you think it is. Sometimes we lift the leg way up. If you've got a reflective surface around, try to make sure you're at hip height. Great. Maybe you want to reach the left arm long. Try not to tilt side to side, one long line. Breathe in, reach. Breathe out, draw navel in. Keep stretching long. You got this, hold it. And come back in slower than you want to. Switch it up. Inhale, left leg reaches. Notice if you started to tilt to one side, try to keep it level, then lift. Hip height. Reach that opposite arm. So this is kind of the opposite of what we did before. We're just switching up our relationship to gravity here. Bring it in slower than you want to, and let's switch that up a couple times. Inhale, stretch out right leg, left arm. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, switch. Exhale, draw. Two more either side. Try to stay active. Almost imagine like you've got rubber bands that you're stretching long from foot to arm. Nice. When you're ready, we're going to tuck the toes under. Hover your knees just an inch. Really press through your hands. Notice if the spine has moved. Try to keep it neutral if you can. And again, I feel like I keep saying this, but really slurp your femur bones up into your hips. Feel the back of your legs, your glutes engage, not just your quads. Can you hold this for 3, 2, 1, drop it down. Take a breath. Let's try again. So tuck your toes under, hover your knees. So if your knees are way up here, sometimes that can make it, I don't want to say easier, but a little more gentle. So just keep them hovering. Whew. If you want a little extra fire, why not keep the right leg bent and reach that heel up. Whew. Try the other side. Maybe 2 more either side. Try to keep your knees hovering, really low, harder than it seems. Keep pressing through your hands. Nice, and then lower down. Find a child's pose, or forearms down, let the head hang. From here, let's come up to our tabletop again, but now we're going to move through our cat-cow. So a lot of the time in yoga, we breathe in and arch, and then exhale round. In Pilates, we do the opposite. So we're going to breathe in, round the back, breathe out as you arch. Just changing up the breath. Notice the difference it makes. Sometimes it feels really good to take that full breath in as you round. Exhale, stick out your tongue, let it go. Ha! You can make all the noise you want. 2 more. Let it all go. Ha! Last one. Ha! Nice. And then from here, let's tuck the toes under and come up to our downward facing dog. So you can do this all from forearms if you want. It might make it a little bit harder, so you choose. We're gonna breathe in here, reach the creases of your hips up and back. Knees can stay bent if you'd like. And as you exhale, slowly roll your way to tabletop. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, roll your way to table. Maybe you hover the knees the whole time. Inhale, reach those hip creases up and back. Exhale, tabletop, hover, or maybe even plank. We'll do 3 more, whatever you choose. Slow, steady with the breath. The next time you're down in plank, tabletop, or hover, let's stay there. Hold it for 5, 4, you got this, 3, 2, 1. Come on back, down dog, pedal out the feet, find whatever movement you like. Maybe you're listening to some good music and you just kind of dance it out. Nice. So when you're ready, let's drop the knees down. And you might want to turn on your mat, you don't have to. So we're kneeling now in this high kneel. So when you're here, whatever's touching the ground, try to press it down. I like to imagine pressing the shins down, even if they're not touching the floor. And then bring one hand to your sternum and one hand to your pelvis. Try to stack these. So sometimes we lean back or we lean forward. Try to just stack nice and tall. Like you're lengthening the side body, come up and out of the waist. Let your shoulders soften down. Back of the neck long, jaw relaxed. Nice. We're going to add in a little bit of balance. Hover your right knee. From here, you're going to slowly straighten out that leg and plant it down, right toes facing forward. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, interlace your fingers, bring them behind your head. You can kind of press your head into your hands, hands into your head. And check in, have you already lost that neutral spine? Try to come up. And just like you're in a little toaster here, and you don't want to lean too far back or forward or you'll get burnt. Breathe in, get tall. Breathe out, tip down to the left. You might find that little place where it starts to feel like you're losing it, and come on up. Keep pressing through the outer edge of that right foot. Exhale to the left. Inhale, come up. We'll do 3 more. If a different breath serves you, do that. Keep your elbows wide. And on that last one, maybe you hold it. You could reach the arms long if you want. For 3, 2, 1. Drop your left fingertips down. Reach the right arm up. You can stay right here, or maybe a few big circles in that arm feels good. You could even follow your hand with your gaze. You can be out of the toaster now. Take up space with that arm. You're a free little piece of toast. All right. Next time you breathe in, reach that right arm up. Press into the outer edge of that right foot. Come on up. Hands can come back behind the head. Slowly start to press into that left leg more. Get light on the right. Take a really slow ride back to kneeling. Challenge your balance. Nice. Drop your arms, shake it out. Let's try the other side. So pressing your feet down. Arms are wherever is comfortable. Press into the right leg. Hover the left knee. Watch as your arms go wild. And then straighten out that leg. Plant the foot, toes facing forward. Find that stack, you're back in your toaster. And from here, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, interlace, hands behind the head. When you're ready, tip over to the right. Stay lengthening through the side waist. We've got 4 more. Whatever breath serves you here. And instead of thinking of really leaning, think of just getting so tall that you tip over. And the next time you tip, hold it. You can challenge yourself with the arms, whatever you want to do. Press through the outer edge of that left foot, and then drop right fingertips down. You can stay here, or you can make those big circles with your left arm. And take one more breath. Reach long and tall. Press into your legs, your feet, and come on up. Hands behind your head again. And really challenge your balance here. See just how slow you can lift that leg up. Enjoy the little wobbles. And then plant your knees down. Let's find a child's pose here. So legs can be however you like them. And you can always do this on forearms instead. From here, take one breath, big inhale. Exhale, let it go, maybe sigh. Inhale, come on up. You're back to your kneeling. And just take a breath. Notice how this feels. Nice. From here, let's find our way to tabletop. We're going to come into a nice pigeon from here. So slide that right knee towards right wrist. You can always add support under the right thigh. Maybe you stay up and you enjoy the heart opening. Maybe you come on down. You can always do the figure 4 variation. Just come to seated, right ankle over left knee moves forward. We'll take about 3 more slow breaths. And when you're ready, after that third, make your way out of the shape, whatever way feels natural for you. Maybe tabletop or down dog, or if you're seated, just taking a couple breaths. And then let's slide left knee towards left wrist or left ankle over right knee. Find whatever's comfortable for you. And we take about 5 breaths total here. Yoga teachers and Pilates teachers have no idea how long 5 breaths is. So whenever you're done your 5th, make your way out of your shape. Any way you'd like to. And we're gonna land down onto our bellies. You can rest your head on stacked palms. And just take a few breaths here. Notice how it feels to breathe with your belly against the mat. Maybe you're able to feel the breath in the low back or the side body a bit more. And then last little bit of kind of work that we're going to do is to press into the tops of the feet. You might feel your knees lift. And then we're going to bring the fingertips nice and wide. Your forehead can come down towards the earth. Breathe in. Lift your head, neck, shoulders, chest. As you breathe out, look over towards the right foot. Maybe you come down a bit. Inhale, center, lift. Exhale, look over towards the left foot. You can come down or stay lifted. 2 more either side. Really nice stretch for the back, for the chest, and a bit of strengthening. And next time you're center, you can stay there or turn this into a sphinx for a few breaths. Palms down, elbows under the shoulders-ish, almost like you're pulling yourself forward, shoulders drop down. And just 3 breaths wherever you are. When you're ready, come on down. You might want to wiggle out the hips a bit. It can feel nice. And keep it really lazy as you roll on over onto your back. Let's give the legs a good hug in. Maybe you rock a bit side to side. From here, we'll do one last little bit of kind of work. You're going to come back to that neutral spine. So even pelvis, back is long, not arched, not rounded. Press your palms down into the ground. Squeeze your legs in towards each other. Again, femurs into hips. Breathe in. As you exhale, tilt your knees over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. So this doesn't need to be a big movement, just slow and controlled. Inhales bring you to center. Exhales, let the knees fall. You can always add on if you want to straighten out the legs. Try to keep the legs squeezing together and in. And let this movement come from the core. Press through the arms. Let's do one more to either side. The next time your legs are over to the right, let them fully drop down. Nice, juicy, passive twist for a few breaths. Maybe you look to the left. And eventually come on up. Maybe you use a slow, controlled movement to get you there. And slow, controlled descent to the left with your knees. A couple more breaths in your twist. And come up, slow, controlled. And just passively let your legs come up, arms come up. And then flick your fingers like you're flicking water off of them. But instead of flicking off water, you're flicking off this whole practice. Any feelings or energy that's been stuck with you, just flick it off. You can get your whole arms involved. Maybe start to shake up the legs or flick them too. Just shake, just flick, let it all go. You can laugh at yourself while you do this. It's totally fine. Just keep shaking. There's no wrong way to do it. Just shake, let it all go. Shake as much as you can for 5, 4, 3, big breath in, shake, 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 2, 1, let it all go. Feel as everything settles. And find your Savasana or resting pose just for the next couple of minutes. feel ready, you can wiggle the fingers, the toes, rock your head, maybe you smile. Find a big morning stretch. And you'll just lazily roll to one side and find your way towards your own comfortable seated position. Once you're there, you can bring your hands to your heart any way that's meaningful to you. Feel your heart breathe, your breath. And send gratitude to your body. And to yourself for carving out this time in your day to practice. Thank you. Peace.